Hi everybody, welcome to Exposed Season 2. In this season we're going to be discussing the behind the scenes problems, issues and how do I put this? The things that you're not supposed to see in the fashion industry. So I thought I'd start off this season with a bit of a different subject. So rather than diving in straight into the fashion industry, different fashion brands which you shouldn't support, I wanted to talk about PETA and not what they want you to think they are. But to give a bit of background, they are a non-profit organisation with the aim of helping animals in a negative, basically abandoned animals. They also help with animal welfare within homes and make sure that animals are being treated how they should be treated. But that isn't what they are at all, and after doing a bit of internet diving, I can definitely confirm that they are not who they say they are. First of all, for a non-profit animal welfare organisation with the aim of keeping animals alive in a well upbringing, their numbers in terms of killings in comparison to adopted out animals is not very good. So PETA actually has one of the largest killing shelters in America to begin with, and in 2016 71.9% of cats and dogs taken in by PETA were euthanized. Only 2.9 were adopted. So 71.9% had been killed by PETA. 2.9 of them were adopted, leaving about, let me do my maths here, 74.8 altogether, leaving 23% just there, which isn't good. Additionally, in 2003 to 2013, a total of 29,426 domestic animals such as dogs, cats, rabbits were killed by PETA. So 29,000 animals were killed by a animal welfare organisation with the aim of protecting animals had killed 29,000. Doesn't add up, does it? So not only are they not who they want to be known as, PETA is also sexist. So in an advertisement for PETA, they used a pregnant woman in the nude and put her in a cage, and they basically compared the woman to a cow. PETA has an obsession with using and exploiting women's bodies as ways to show the audience how animals suffer. And although this may seem to some people as, well, it doesn't even seem normal, it's just completely wrong. They're asking for trouble without even trying by doing that. They compared animal slaughter to the suffering of black people, using slogans such as "Are animals the new slaves?" And also they had an advertisement comparing the American Kennel Club to the KKK. PETA sued Seaworld, claiming that 5 orcas should be freed under the 13th Amendment, and they compared the orcas' lives to the lives of rape victims, murder victims, and millions of black slaves, and this is somehow acceptable because orcas are by definition slaves. Don't know how accurate that is, but it's still extremely problematic and extremely wrong. How can such a big organisation be saying such harmful things? I just do not understand. This is one of the first ones I read actually, but PETA actually claims that dairy products can cause autism. In an advertisement they used the slogan, "Autistic people may be able to find relief with a simple dietary change, removing milk from their diet," followed by got dairy, got autism. It's just so ignorant, and a lot of parents of autistic children, a lot of people in general were just extremely angry that not only could they be so ignorant to people with the disability, but also just make such an outrageous statement. PETA dehumanizes and invalidates rape survivors. So they had basically put out another advertisement, another one of their problematic advertisements, and they basically said that women explain what rape feels like for animals in the food industry. And then this advertisement features a series of videos of women sharing their stories about their rape, experiences with rape. And as it's meaningful, as it's all, you know, it's a good, powerful advert, it then follows with, "Every year, billions of animals are born into the meat, egg and dairy industries. Almost all of them are a result of forcible artificial insemination. Almost all of them are a result of rape. Don't participate, go vegan." Basically saying that rape and the slaughter of animals is the same thing. Although the information regarding the billions of animals being born into the meat, egg and dairy industries is accurate, absolutely accurate, they lost their purpose there by comparing it to rape. Rape and the euthanization of animals is completely and utterly unnecessary and wrong to compare. You can't compare the two, they're just completely different things. Although the intention, the thing with some adverts, they have an intention of getting the attention of the audience, and they do that by doing the most shocking things, and you would be surprised. But to compare rape to the euthanization of animals for dairy, egg and meat products is just absolutely, it's just triggering for rape survivors. It is not only triggering to them, but it's also uncomfortable for people watching. You know, how can you just sit there and openly compare the two situations? It's not right. PETA also has mocked the survivors of abuse. So in another advertisement, I'm sorry, but whoever's doing this advertisement needs the sack, because they ain't doing a good job. In an advertisement called "Boyfriend Went Vegan," a woman is depicted in a neck brace and is suffering from, quote unquote, "boyfriend went vegan and knocked the bottom out of me," quote unquote. It's implied that the energy and strength the boyfriend had from going vegan caused him to violently push her head through a wall. In other words, abuse. Basically saying that by being vegan, they have become such a powerful person. And although, in my head, be vegan, if you're advertising going vegan, oh, it's good for you, it makes you stronger, it makes you healthier, good. But do not show an advertisement of a man hitting their girlfriend's head through a wall. Like, it's so easy not to do. Like, why add the problem? Surely by now they knew what they was doing. They knew that it was causing an attention to their brand. Just as I thought it couldn't get worse, they also make anti-Semitic Holocaust analogies. They apparently have a long, horrible history of using the suffering of Jewish people in their ad campaigns. Not only have they used traumatic Holocaust imagery as a parallel to animal suffering, but they have even mocked Hitler's idea of a master race, comparing it to breedism, the idea that dogs' worth can be based off its breed. These campaign strategies are clearly insensitive and anti-Semitic. Basically, what they have done here is a bit of a history lesson for you. So Hitler liked specific looking people. He liked people with blonde hair, blue eyes. If you had that, you was perfectly fine. If not, you would be euthanized. And they are basically using that to say that dog breeders will sell the different dog breeds for a different price. If they don't want it, it gets euthanized. That is what they are saying. And the comparison is just absolutely ignorant. It couldn't be any more ignorant if it tried. Although animal euthanization is something that needs to be taken more seriously, and it is a serious matter, it's not something that you should be comparing to the likes of Holocaust. It really isn't. I've got nothing to say on that, but it's shocking. Not only that, but they also have a history of fat shaming, using a slogan such as "fight obesity, go vegan," and, even worse, "lose the blubber, go vegetarian." It's just the ignorance, it's just the immaturity of these quote-unquote slogans. It's just absolutely wrong. Not only this, but it's also harmful to people who are of a higher weight, people who struggle with weight loss, gain, either or. Depicting someone's weight and saying, "Lose the blubber, be this, lose the fat, do this." It's so harmful, and it can cause a lot of upset and hurt to an audience. And the fact that they've released this as an advertisement and it's not being flagged, I do not know how. PETA supports white supremacist Joe Arpaio. PETA has applauded and allied with white supremacist Joe, all because he cut meat out of prisoners' diets as it was too expensive and saved the country $200,000 per year. Not because he actually cares about veganism or vegetarianism, it's just because it's saving him money. However, PETA had backed the fact that they was no longer serving meat in prisons. Joe is blatantly racist, anti-immigrant, and has been leading an anti-Latinx campaign in Arizona for years. In 2011, the Justice Department concluded that he oversaw the worst pattern of racial profiling by a law enforcement agency in the US history, meaning that all the things he was pushing for was racially driven. There was no understanding. He is just a straight up racist, and the fact that PETA had supported an openly racist person made PETA look bad. And that's where it links with clothing brands. You know, when you've got faces of brands, you've got people representing your company, their actions can affect the brand. If you've got the face of your brand in the headlines of the news, on magazine covers, newspaper front pages, if they're doing something wrong, the name of the company is going to be brought up as a side with the name. It's going to look bad on both parts. And supporting a white supremacist, racist, anti-immigrant, supporting and running a campaign against Latinos in Arizona is... how can you openly support someone like that? It's just asking for trouble. I think what we've learned about PETA is not only are they not the animal welfare non-profit organisation that they claim to be, they're not just trying to save lives of animals, but they're just going out of their way to publicly bash specific types of people and to really force throttle veganism, vegetarianism down people's throats. But not only are they doing this lightly. Well, they're not doing it lightly, they're doing it forcefully. They are forcing it down people's throats, and they are doing it in the wrong way. They are using the wrong words, they are using the wrong methods. It's all just wrong, and the fact that they are getting away with it even to this day in 2022 is absolutely shocking, and something needs to be done about this. There's so many more animal welfare organisations that are non-profit, that are in, their aim is to genuinely help the lives of animals, and I can tell you now, PETA's intentions are not what they are made out to be. Please, please, please do not support PETA. Do not support PETA. They are not who they want you to think they are. They really aren't. Thank you for watching episode 1 of Fashion Exposed. Although this wasn't a fashion related episode, I wanted to dive in to PETA, as I thought this was a great way to start the series, just to openly talk about animal welfare, because animal welfare will be a discussion into the next episode of the season. This is a 2-part docu-series, so in this first half we're talking about animal welfare. In the second half we're going to be talking how animal welfare can also affect can be used for fur, anything, leather, into fashion, clothing items, and how it links together. We're also going to be talking about faces of brands. We're going to be talking about problematic brands. We're going to be talking about all the brands that shouldn't be supported in the second part of this season, so please stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe if you want to be notified every time a brand new episode of Exposed is released. Press the subscribe button down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the second half of Exposed. Bye, guys.